G'day Spurs fans, Paul the Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. Another cold day in Sydney. It's another tale from the car, and this time Thomas Frank has had his first interview, and he came across well, as he usually does in this sort of thing. I think he comes across well in press conferences. Not as I think abrasive is the wrong word. I think people got the wrong end of the stick with Ange. They really did. I think they just had their knives out for him and were picking on any excuse. I thought he was really good in press conferences, but Frank's always been like down the line, and hopefully he won't get that criticism, because for some people they think it's important to get on with journalists. I don't think it matters one bit. In fact, I think it's almost better to not get on with them, create a bit of a siege mentality. I mean, what do these journalists know? They're always after an angle. But he said some good things. Talked about the style of football he wants to play. He understands the history of the club. He wants to play attacking front foot football, which is what we want. I was just waiting for him to say something like but he didn't. Like, but you've got to be pragmatic or anything like that. No, so the intention is there. We'll have to see how he sets the team up. He had good words for Dominic Solanke, which I think is good, because I reckon Dominic Solanke is a really good player. And perhaps, even though I think he was effective and he was always good, we were always a better team when he was on the pitch. Maybe it's possible that Frank can maybe use him in a better role than Ange did. Speaking of Ange, Thomas had really good words to say about Ange and about our huge, massive achievement that we've just done at Spurs. He said the team are all winners, and he actually seemed genuinely quite excited by the reaction of the fans, the reception that the fans gave the team when we won that UEFA Cup, the Europa League trophy. So hopefully he wants more on that. He said that they're winners, but we've got to make them serial winners, which is fantastic. Went through the squad. The one thing I guess I am wary about, and I know Levy and Vinay were saying yesterday that we need to win the Premier League and we need to win Champions League. We will see what happens with Thomas Frank and the young players, because there's no doubt I think he can. He has got a track record of really developing players really well, which. The one maybe concern I have over the whole Thomas Frank thing, maybe I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but I've been burnt before with Spurs, is the comments about him improving players, particularly young players, which I think is true. He's done it with Raya, Tony, Mbeumo, and I'm just my slight concern is that I don't want to see Tottenham become just a money ball team. The time will tell on that one. If we hold on to some of our younger players, and even some of our senior ones, and start paying decent wages, then that fear will be allayed. But if we start seeing a bit of a churn, of players lasting, get them in young, then 2 years later we flog them for a profit, even though they add something to the team and the squad, then I'll be worried. But that's getting ahead of myself, so let's hope that doesn't happen. So I thought Thomas Frank gave a good interview. I'm excited, I'm inspired, I'm pumped. Can't wait to see what he can do. I mean, attacking football, wants to make us serial winners. I mean, that's carrying on the Ange job. Gave credit and praise to Ange, which was very nice as well. Pretty cool. Like I said in a video the other day, Thomas Frank is taking over a team of winners, and you don't often see that in football, unless you're like Chelsea with a megalomaniac owner or something like that. We will see. Now, on another note, looks like I've put some people's noses out of joint over my comments about Manor Solomon talking about him in football terms. My opinion of Manor Solomon is he looked all right. The odd bits I saw him, If Thomas Frank wants to play him, yeah, I'm all right with that. Seems like some people don't want that though because he's Israeli. Now, I've been very public about my views. I try not to get too political as a habit, but sometimes I do. I can't help it. And besides, all other channels are fairly dog-whistly political in their way. So yeah, I'm free Palestine all over. But I'm also keep politics out of sport. I don't think it does any good. I think the power of sport, especially something like football, is its humanising power. Humanising power. It shows that we're all the same, all over the planet, and if I was born in someone else's shoes, I'd be a different person with different ideas about things. And I think as soon as you start making too many moral judgments about people in sport, it defeats the purpose of it. It's like an arena, you know, as far as I'm concerned, someone puts on a Spurs shirt, it's like Quasimodo giving Esmeralda sanctuary. I don't care, I really don't care. I will just cheer on whoever plays for our team. So, you know, I'm sure there's many a player that I've cheered in a Spurs shirt that if I had a talk and a heart to heart with, I think, oh my God, they're not cut from the same cloth as me. But the beauty of sport is I don't give a shit. I don't care. Give you a couple of examples of how sport always wins, man. Sport always wins. Like in the last World Cup when Saudi Arabia were playing Argentina, because Saudi Arabia were the underdogs. I mean, look, no one's a real big fan of Saudi Arabia, are they? I'm not. And everyone cheered on Saudi Arabia because you could see their fans, you could see their players. They were the underdogs against, well, the eventual world champions. If you start judging people based on what regime controls the propaganda in that country, I think you're on a hiding to nothing, and I ain't going to go down that path. So if Manor Solomon comes back, come on you Spurs as far as I'm concerned. If he doesn't, then I don't have to worry about it. Now, some people seem to be focusing on that one little thing I've said and throwing away the 99% of other stuff that I would agree with them on. And then labouring the point, it's almost like trying to debate me. I'm not into debates, man. I've explained my position, what I think. I understand how other people feel. I'm not telling you to feel any different. If you don't want Manor Solomon because of this, I'm not, so what? It doesn't bother me. But I'm not going to get into stupid debates, labouring a point, and then it'll become hypotheticals. And I'm not into it. So it's not something I'm going to go on about, but I'll tell you what, if Manor Solomon does play for Spurs and he scores a goal, I'm going to jump out of my seat and cheer for him because he's a Spurs player. If you don't like that, then don't bring it up with me, because that's my philosophy on things. Another example of how sport always wins, 1936 Olympic Games held in Nazi Germany. What do we remember that for? Jesse Owens. We don't remember it really for we remember a bit of the propaganda and how it's supposed to prove certain thing from an evil ideology, but Jesse Owens came through and Jesse Owens won. So I just don't like, here's the other thing, if you start excluding people from sport, then it gives whoever the regime who runs that country a chance to say, look, see, all the world hates us, the whole world is out to get us. I mean, how many times have we heard that from different countries all around the world in the cause of nationalism? So I ain't doing it. If you don't like it, don't discuss it with me and we'll all be fine. But if you're hooked up on that one thing and forget about all the things that we have in common, I can't help you. It's my channel, I do this for fun. I was actually going to do a stream tonight, but I heard a couple of things and I just thought, nah, bollocks. Well, I'm doing this channel for my own fun and hopefully other people's entertainment. And I'm also conscious of the fact that there is a fuckload of shit going on in the world. The Middle East has gone bonkers, everywhere's gone shit, and maybe they just want to tune in to some stupid twat with a beard to forget all that and not watch all that shit. That's why I do what I do. But tonight it ain't fun, so I'm going to go out instead. There you go. So thanks internet people. You've missed out on a stream, but I'll be back tomorrow. I've also, by the way, had a really shit day at work, so I'm going to unwind, and tomorrow is another day. The sun will rise, and I'll be in a different frame of mind, because I'm an inconsistent human being. What I say today might be a little bit different tomorrow. I'm full of grey areas and nuance. Remember, this is not democracy. This is a Hotspur hypocrisy. So until next time, peace and love, and I do mean that. Peace and love, and come on you Spurs.